right, Buck. Obviously, new man in charge this week. How has Masoli looked, and is what he brings going to be a little different than what we usually see from Nate?
Yeah, he's looked great. He's looked great. I thought ever since he got here in training camp, he's picked up the verbiage really well. He has a lot of experience in this league, so he communicates well with the guys. He understands what he likes. He understands his strengths too. So, yeah, I think each week we try and look a little bit different. Obviously, with Jeremiah, there might be a couple new things here and there, but overall, our plan's our plan.
Their defense really pressured you guys a lot last week. What do you guys need to do to counter that and give Jeremiah a chance back there?
Well, I think there's multiple things, but I think sustaining drives and staying on the football field, is the best way to do that. We need to make sure that we're able to stay on the field. Put some plays together, put some drives together, make sure we finish those drives and, wear them out a little bit up front.
Do you think it was more them or you guys last week where the game didn't go for you? Do you think this is that's a game where you want to bounce back and show a little more, or did they, just have a great game?
Well, we need to show more, obviously. Every week, we need to improve and we need to get better. So hopefully those things are addressed. I thought it was a good week of practice. I liked our energy. I liked our effort. But I always give credit to the defense too. Always give credit to the opponents. They played well. And when you're playing a team like Winnipeg that's well coached and they're going to play hard, and we got to make sure that we're on top of our stuff.
What's the key to playing a team back to back?
I think it's fresh in your mind. You have familiarity with what you need to do offensively and defensively. You need to understand, focus on probably the details a little bit more. Less about scheme. I think when you play them back to back and it's so fresh in your mind, all the guys are ready to just get out there and play football. So I think that's a benefit too.
I know it's early in the year, but tiebreakers is going to be a tight division. I think. How big is this game for you guys? Also mentally to not let a team like Winnipeg beat you twice early.
Yeah, we need to go out and play our game, and we're going to focus on ourselves and where we are. Our mission every week is to narrow our focus on the team that we're playing, whether it's west or east. I think there's always parity in the CFL wherever you're at. Winning is important for a myriad of reasons, right? But we need to focus on putting our feet in front of the other right now, and focus where we're standing, and just focus on our job, right? I think we just don't want to look too far ahead, right? We want to make sure we're focusing on the moment right now.
Buck, I was just curious on Nathan. I know that he's technically listed GTD tomorrow. Is there anything that he can do, or what does he have to do in the next 24 hours to show you maybe potentially that he could go?
Well, yeah, Nathan's going to dress, but we're going to play Jeremiah.
Okay.
He's preparing, just like everybody. He's moving around, he's preparing, he's, working hard. Need be, we'll see how he feels tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead and move forward with Jeremiah.
I guess that's something you want to be. No, you won't want him to aggravate and have it become worse than it is, though. So he would be just kind of an emergency break glass only for Nathan to play. Emergency only.
His health is the main thing right now, right? So we're confident in where we are, and we're excited to see what Jeremiah can do. I think he'll do a great job.